Hello, everyone. How are we going? I think we have various people in various states of preparedness. Hopefully you can hear me. Hello. I was on first, so I win. Yay. And Peter and Karen are having Bloody Marias with mezcal. Hello, Rita. No tomato juice in Rita's house. That's okay. I had to run out and get tomato juice, and I think we've all got the same brand, so that's pretty funny. Except for David and Fiona, who actually do the tomato juice thing, I think, on a regular basis. But I just had to go to Coles and get Coles' own brand. Kevin is busy making cocktails. Can't wait, says Emily. Excellent. Emily, are you having mini cheeseburgers on yours or anything like that? So excited. I think I'm going to start making while I talk. Hello, Kay. How you going? I've already seen some lovely photos of people's cocktails. And they all look amazing. I'm just gonna, my ice is melting as it always does when I try and do this. I made little icebergs. They're big ice blocks and they didn't freeze all the way through today. I probably should have put them outside because it's bloody cold out there. So I've got icebergs, which will probably fill up with tomato juice when we put the cocktail in. But I'm making today shell. Got caught doing story time too. So a bit behind on the brekkie burgers. Okay, cool. All right. Doing Caesars. Very good. Peter and Karen are eating spicy chèvre piment esplanade. That sounds like some Brett's chips, which is also what we're eating. Hello, Michael. How are you? I know. It's so cold. UK has been hot. Michael, you're having some... You okay, Dad? Dad's having trouble with his hearing aids, so we're just... it's a bit painful for him, which is awful. Okay, I'm going to give him a cocktail, though, to cheer him up. Oh, that looks good, Emily. Emily sent me a picture. Very nice. All right, I am making... Michael's having the 18 duck. Good work. All right, I am making... Jill a Bloody Mary because she thought that she wasn't going to enjoy the other versions. So I'm going to make a classic Bloody Mary first for Jill. Rita's studying and also helping 16-year-old son pack for camp in Moorooduc. Oh dear. Hello, Cotty and John. Running late with burgers. Got out the tomato juice. Got your tomato juice from Henry's Mercato. Excellent. Oh, good. I'm so glad, Cotty, you're having the carrot juicy one. You'll be able to tell us how it looks. All right, Bloody Mary for Jill. I have a glass. I'm not going to rim it or anything silly like that. I'm going to put everything in the cocktail because I think these recipes are a bit fancy. So I'm using Belvedere vodka because for some reason I had some. I don't drink vodka, so don't know where that came from, but we seem to have got through most of it. I've probably had it for about 20 years, so it's nicely aged, Jill. So Bloody Mary, and I'm going to make it in a jug because I don't have my shaker, and you don't need to shake it. You just kind of roll it around on the ice and stir it. So vodka, 2 shots of vodka for Jill because she needs it. There we go, 2 shots of vodka for Jill. Then we do, I know this is not very exciting television, but I've got to concentrate because I don't make these very often. 4 shots of tomato juice. So it's 1 part vodka to 2 parts tomato juice. How's everyone's drink tasting? The recipe also said to put sugar in the red snapper. I'm not going to do that. And now I've lost count of my tomato juices. I think that's 4, Jill. If it tastes too strong, we can put some more tomato juice in. Whoops. Okay. 2 teaspoons of prepared horseradish. Ooh, Jill. Do you want 2 teaspoons or just 1? Horseradish. That'll make it quite spicy. I'll just do 1. Okay, spoon in there to do the stirring. I need some Worcester sauce. Oh, Peter and Nina are having mulled wine. Lovely. Excellent. Yeah, Peter went home because I don't think he is a huge fan of the tomato juice cocktail. It said 2 dashes of Worcester. Okay, much better without the sugar, I agree. some Tabasco for Jill. It says 2 dashes. I'm just going to do 1 because Jill's a bit sensitive to chili. I'm going to put my salt in there. It's not celery salt because I didn't have celery salt, and my pepper in there. A little bit more salt because I think that tomato juice needs it. A little bit more salt. And I'm going to just stir that. Too cold for Bloody Marys, says Peter. Oh, no, rubbish. They're warming and nutritious, the Bloody Mary. So the recipe then says, so I'm going to strain the, I had some ice in my jug and I've got some ice in Jill's glass. So I'll strain that off. And she gets a wedge of lemon. Actually, that's lime. Wedge of lime and a wedge of lemon because she's having a Bloody Mary. Squeeze them in. Might just whack that in. A swizzle of celery. And I have made, I'm so proud of myself with this. This is about the best thing that I've done today. I made a garnish which has a cornichon and a pickled onion and an anchovy and an olive. I'm just going to rest that on top. And that is Jill's Bloody Mary. Jill, you have to come and get your Bloody Mary now. Looks good, doesn't it? I'm going to have a little spoonful to see, make sure that it's okay.
We're having chips too.
It's pretty good.
No, look at that. How'd you get the celery to spark up?
I stuck it in some cold water like you told me to.
Works, doesn't it?
It does. It's amazing. Kevin added some pickle juice and olive juice from the jars to give it more sourness. Works well, says Emily. Nice. Hello, Chef. How you going? All right. So that's a classic Bloody Mary. Jill, you have to sip it and tell us if it's any good. I'll get rid of the extra water out of this jug. And I'm going to make Dad and me a red snapper because I'm not a vodka drinker, although I can drink vodka in a Bloody Mary on an aeroplane. That's my exception. Alison's now adding pickle juice and olive juice. Sounds pretty good. Okay, gin for Richard and me. So, two ounces of gin each. So that's 4 ounces of gin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to have to concentrate very hard on the Vladdy is way too salty. Oh, Connie, I'm sorry to hear that. Kay thinks there needs to be more gin in the red snapper. 2, 3, 4. I'm making 2 in this jug. 6. If I'd been smart, I would have measured out my tomato juice ahead of time. But, you know, this makes for much better watching my tomato juice. Okay, so this needs some lemon juice from my own tree. 1/2 ounce of freshly juiced lemon juice. So that's 1 for 2 of us. There we go. Bing, bang, boom. Okay, I think that's all the measuring that I have to do. I'll put that down there. We squeeze in some lime to our glasses. Lime. Okay, salt. Is it good, Jill? Oh, good. Have you drunk any of the drink? Yeah. Bring it over here and I can put more salt in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. More Worcester sauce in the red snapper. Tabasco. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'll have another one of those.
5, 6. Some more salt. And give it a little stir with your. Oh, you could have done that with your swizzle stick. There you go.
Thank you.
No worries. Now I've lost track of my Tabasco. Do a few more. Richard likes it spicy, don't you, Richard? Spicy. Poor man can't hear a thing. Okay, give it a stir, 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 stir. A bit more salt. Okay. Gee, that's good. Okay. So it goes into the glass. Much better. So I think the moral of the story is that these savoury tomato-based cocktails and carrot juice-based cocktails need to be appropriately seasoned. I think it's one of the most important things about them. It's a bit floppy still. Okay, that on. Whoopsie-doo. Hang on, Richard. It's not quite ready yet. He's getting thirsty. Okay. And there is Richard's red snapper, full to the brim. There you go. Don't spill it. I've made Jill's too spiky now. It's okay. And so, margaritas. Yeah. Okay, Jill, I've got to talk to these people now, so you have to talk to yourself. So I used Barney's gin, and I made myself a red snapper, which I think is delicious. David made steak with a sage and caper sauce. Caper plus Bloody Mary is very good. We've gone the Bloody Bull variation. Good work. Okay, so now I can read everyone. Alison used lime juice. The best thing about tomato juice is going hard on the salt. Absolutely. Pickle juice is great. Cotty, I'm really sorry about your Vladdy. Have you got some more carrot juice that you can make another one with less salt? Because it sounded like a nice idea. Yum. Oh, Shell and Andrew have got a new fur baby. You have to send me a photo. Bosh. That's a great name. Okay. I hope he approves of our Bloody Marys, etc. to go with. Kevin's college bartending skills coming to good use, Alison. That's the tip on the pickle juice from Kevin. Peter quite likes a bit of pickle juice in a cocktail as well. Does he do the dishes? Kate wants to know. Okay, so my little swizzle stick. I think this was the genius thing that I learned in America, because they put as much work into their garnish as they do into the cocktail, and they put a lot of work into the cocktail too. My garnish, just to remind you, is a Kalamata olive, an anchovy, a pickled onion, and a cornichon, a mini pickled onion and a cornichon. But you can do so many things. A little cherry tomato is a good addition to the garnish. I had a really nice Bloody Mary in New York that had caraway seeds in it, and then it had a toasted piece of bagel with caraway, a little cube on the garnish. That was pretty awesome. You can do little bocconcini cheeses, anything. It's like put anything that you like salad-wise on a stick. It's pretty awesome. Cotty thinks her celery salt is celery and salt. Didn't read the pack closely enough. Okay. with a little bit of carrot juice left. Oh, how annoying. Americans do great cocktails, says Alison. Okay. They absolutely do, Rita and Alison. It's partly because a lot of the great cocktails were invented in America, and they were invented because the cheapest way to get alcohol into people, and for a long time, the only way to get alcohol into people because of Prohibition, was cheap spirits, often bootleg spirits that were, the bootleg spirits weren't always cheap, but they were always pretty nasty. And so you didn't have beautiful wine to drink, although during Prohibition, a lot of wineries sold grape juice concentrate and sent it out to people with very elaborate instructions on what not to do with it because it might turn into an alcoholic beverage if they did. So it was quite a good way to make backyard wine, but it was pretty dreadful. But the hooch, the spirits, if you made them into a cocktail by adding things, it made it taste better and help you to get it down without poisoning yourself too much. So a classic cocktail, and we have talked about this before, but not for a long time, so I think it's worth going back over some old ground. A classic cocktail is spirits with water and sugar, and that's your basic cocktail. And if you think about it, a martini is spirits with frozen water, ice, chilled down, and the ice melts in it a little bit, so there's some water in there. And a martini doesn't have sugar, so it's the most classic cocktail that you can have. But then you've got all of the old fashions that are basically spirit with sugar and bitters. So bitters was the next thing to add into a cocktail to give it a bit more flavour. Again, over ice and muddled together and mixed on ice so that the ice melts into the cocktail to just dilute the spirit a little bit. When Emily grew up in Wisconsin, bloodies came with bacon instead of celery. That's awesome. Oh, that's from Kevin. Yeah, I've heard of bacon in a Bloody Mary. It was sort of my inspiration with the anchovy, particularly for the gin-based cocktail. The celery always gets in the way, but it's nice. If you don't have celery salt, if you whack a stick of celery in there, it gives it a similar flavour. So once you get past your classic cocktails, spirits, water, some sugar and or some bitters in there to sort of mix it up to make it taste better, then cocktails got more elaborate and people started adding other flavours. And the Bloody Mary, I think, is a very good example of a cocktail that is basically spirit. So you got your vodka. And someone on the chat earlier was asking if they didn't have good vodka, should they use gin instead? And the whole point of a cocktail is you don't need to use good spirits. I think that a cocktail often can taste better particularly if it's spirit forward, like a martini, for example, and like a bloody whatever. If it's spirit forward, then using better quality spirits will maybe make it taste better. It may also make your head hurt a little bit less the next day. But I think because spirits are higher alcohol, then you just got to be a little bit careful of them. And that's why we're watering it down with tomato juice and ice and lemon juice. So what else can we say about the Bloody Mary? It's become known as the breakfast cocktail. You okay, Jill? Too much? Do you want to come over here and say it so people can hear you? Because they can't hear you when you're talking over there. Wait until you get here because I can't hear you.
I've tried Richard's Snapper and it was very good. I enjoyed it. But I felt that the taste of the gin was too dominant. And I much prefer the other flavours with the vodka, which is much more neutral.
Yeah.
So I think that you have to be careful. And I think it might particularly because of Barney's lovely gin that has got quite a nice flavour as a gin and tonic and sort of drink, but it's not good with the tomato juice.
I think it is good with the tomato juice, and that's where we differ, because all of the recipes that I have seen of the gin, the red snapper, so the gin variation, they always say that it's much more gin forward because the gin botanicals come up with the so if you don't like it, don't have a red snapper. But that's the point of the red snapper. In the same way that a Bloody Maria with mezcal in it will have that smoky mezcal kind of flavour to it, which some people like and some people don't like.
I'll stick with my Bloody Mary.
You stick with your Bloody Mary, Jill. You stick with your vodka. Good work. Kevin is saying in the US you also get a small beer chaser with a bloody. Ah, nice. Excellent. Well, and in Mexico, if you read through the variations on the Bloody Mary that I sent you as a link with liquor.com, they have a drink, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically Mexican beer with it's got tequila in it, but I think it's also got tomato juice in it, or maybe it's got Peter said back in your box, Jill. Peter told you to get back in your box. I don't think so. I don't think that's right, Peter. I think Jill makes a very good point, but I just wanted to make sure that she knew that that's why I like the red snapper, and it's why some people don't like the red snapper. And as many people wrote in the comments for the recipe that they loved the taste of the gin in the red snapper, and as many also said that they didn't like the taste of the gin because it was too obvious. So I think it's what you're looking for in this sort of cocktail, and it is quite complex. You've got tomato juice, you've got Worcester sauce, you've got Tabasco. So it's taking that cocktail idea way beyond the spirit forward basic cocktail, and it's even a step beyond like the whiskey sours and things like that. So a sour tends to be your whiskey sour has whiskey and sugar and lemon juice, and often it has egg white in it as well, because then when you shake it up, it forms a froth on the top. Change the gin from Gordon's. Kay, you like the Bombay Sapphire better in the drink. Well, that's interesting as well, because I think Gordon's is a classic gin for this sort of cocktail. But again, if you like the flavour of the Bombay Sapphire in it better, because Bombay Sapphire is quite floral and quite a sweet gin, then that can work really well for you. Did anyone go? Connie went with the carrot juice, and I'm interested to know if your second carrot-based cocktail is better than the first one, Connie. That must have been very disappointing. But did anyone go the orange juice-based cocktails or the breakfast martini? Fiona had a version of the Bloody Bull at Spice Temple, and they used beef master stock with all the soy and extra umami. Oh, that would have been amazing. And David's saying we just made a 48-hour slow-cooked beef stock, so made the Bloody Bull. Nice, but I just made another standard Bloody Mary, and it's like home. I think that's right. I mean, I think that the standard Bloody Mary is a classic for a reason. It's a really good flavour combination, and what Jill said, the vodka gives it alcohol and gives it a different textural quality, particularly if you're using Polish vodka like the Belvedere, because that's quite textural. But all the other flavours are quite complex. So adding beef stock into it, for example, makes a nice change, but there's nothing wrong with the classic Bloody Mary that needs to be sort of fixed or changed, except that I drank too much vodka when I was at university, gave myself the worst hangover I've ever had in my life. Luckily, I only did it once more after that. But I can't drink vodka, generally speaking. I choose not to drink vodka. And I know that vodka and gin are almost the same thing. Gin has got botanicals and vodka doesn't, but I love gin. I can't do vodka. It's one of those young person traumas. Okay, Rita wants to know why, Michael, why drink cocktails when life is already too short to try all the good wines? I sort of agree with you on that, Michael, although I got interested in cocktails because cocktails are really interesting because you can affect the outcome of your cocktail in a way that you can't really affect the outcome of your wine. Once you've chosen your wine, we drink it different temperatures in different glasses and that kind of thing. But when you're making a cocktail, you can kind of customize it to the flavor profile that you like. And going back to the whole American cocktail thing, when you couldn't get wine, then a cocktail was a good way to get some booze into you. That's one of the reasons I don't drink cocktails very often, because I find that I have a tendency to drink too much when I drink cocktails. So if I do cocktails, I try to make my rule one and then stop. But I think they're quite fun. Cotty says, it was better, but I think my taste buds are temporarily ruined from the salt overload. Disappointed as I love caraway seeds. Yeah. Vodka makes me talkative, says Alison. Peter's saying variety is the spice of life. Good point, Peter. So Rita's asking why the celery garnish with the Bloody Mary. Is there any significance to using it? I think it adds an extra layer of flavour, and traditionally they'll use celery salt in a Bloody Mary, for the extra flavour. I really like... Don't add Worcester sauce to your duck, Michael. I think you'll be really disappointed. Yeah, it's like, celery salt. Celery just gives a little bit more vegetal flavour, a little bit more depth to the total flavour of the drink. So, as Kevin said, if you'd prefer to put a slice of crispy bacon in there instead of a celery stick, go for it. I think the celery also makes you feel like you're getting some more vitamins, whereas I'm not sure if the bacon does the same thing. Yeah, Fee, Southern Comfort, that's no loss at all. Kay drank too many Black Russians. Oh dear. Rita also can't drink vodka. Yeah. One huge night at university. Most people only do it once. I had to try again just to make sure. But I'm a big fan of tomato juice, and I think that's the other reason that a little bit of spice caught in the back of my throat. I'm a slow learner, says Fiona. I'm a big fan of tomato juice, always have been. It's savoury. And that's the other thing about the Bloody Mary. The original Bloody Mary was the first really savoury cocktail. And most Bloody Marys, some Bloody Marys have a little bit of sugar syrup in them, because a lot of people, my grandmother and my mother sometimes, but my grandmother definitely believed that tomato as a flavour was better with a bit of sugar as well as a bit of salt on it. That's right, isn't it, Jill? Sweeten it up. If they're not good tomatoes, you can make them taste better with a little sprinkle of sugar. And I think that that's the idea behind the bit of sugar in the Bloody Mary, or the red snapper. But I like my cocktails less sweet. So when I make a margarita, I have to warn people that I don't put sugar in my margaritas. And Kevin, now that I know how to make a good mezcalita, I would never put sugar in that. Particularly if you're using good fruit juice, if you're using good pink grapefruit juice or orange juice to make a mezcalita, you got plenty of sugar going on there. But often when you order them at a restaurant. They're so sweet. They're awful. Rita, I can remember my parents buying tomato juice in a can back in the 80s. Yeah, tomato juice. I remember tomato juice in a can too, and you had to make a hole in both sides of it to make it pour out. But yeah, I think my love of cocktails started. I didn't drink them back then, but started with the fact that my grandfather on Dad's side made cocktails for the adults when we went there on holidays, and he'd learnt his cocktails from when they lived in New York. And he had this gorgeous little book of the what was it? It's the press club, the International Press Club bar manual for cocktails or something. And he gave it to me before he died, which is, so I've still got it. It's falling apart, it's stuck together with sticky tape, but it's awesome. And I've made quite a lot of the cocktails out of it. And I think it's really fun. But my grandfather taught me that an old fashioned should always have freshly squeezed orange juice in it. Now, if you look up recipes for old fashions these days, they never have orange juice in them. And we've done it before here on Drinks with Kate. If you're fond of an old fashioned, and you make them at home every now and again, next time you make one, make some freshly squeezed orange. You have to freshly squeeze the orange juice yourself. But make some freshly squeezed orange juice and top your old fashioned up to a long drink with orange juice, and it will change your life. It's a pretty awesome thing. So I don't know where the love of Bloody Marys came from, but I think a friend a long time ago said, one of the best things to have on an aeroplane to, calm your flying nerves if you get them, get a little bit of alcohol in your system, particularly if you're flying economy class, where the wine is pretty dreadful. The best thing to have is a Bloody Mary. It doesn't have any bubbles in it, so it doesn't make your tummy swell up when you change pressure going up and down. It has some alcohol in it, which just helps you relax into the flight. And it's got tomato juice in it, which gives you all those lovely vitamins, and it's so good. There is a reason the Bloody Mary is a flight drink. And I have actually come around to, because every airline will have a Bloody Mary mixer can. So you get your little can of Bloody Mary mix and you get your little bottle of vodka. If you ask them for gin instead of vodka, they'll be intrigued. A lot of them will love it. And you can tell them about a red snapper. And then if you're not a vodka drinker, then you can have your Bloody Mary, you can have your red snapper at however high you are when you get to drink your drink. Michael, you can buy a Bloody Mary on Jetstar, I believe, or is that just on Virgin? I don't fly Jetstar, so I wouldn't know. Sorry. Is that telling you too much about myself? No, I every time I fly, I hate Jetstar. Yep, it's out there now. It's out there in the world. Sorry, Jetstar. I work very hard not to fly with you guys. Rita's learnt so much tonight, feeling confident to make a Bloody Mary in the future. Good, Rita. Excellent. Howdy to the slingers, says Kay. I think I missed something. Cotty, John says tomato juice is full of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. I'd rather have my whole tomato, which I love. I just don't get the juice. Oh, Karen, howdy, all from Singapore. We're slinging. Oh, excellent. Hello, Karen and Craig. I'm not sure if Joan's in Singapore as well, but hi, guys. Kay usually has a Virgin Mary. And so I learnt something tonight because I was looking up a few recipes, and I did want to talk about a Virgin Mary because a Virgin Mary is a fantastic way to drink tomato juice. And I agree with you, Cotty. Tomato juice on its own is just bleh. But when you put salt and pepper and lemon and Worcester sauce and Tabasco in it and some ice, it's bloody delicious. A little bit of lime juice as well, if you like. I agree, David. Absolutely. Craig and Karen in Singapore. Excellent work, team. Kay's talking about aeroplanes, not Virgin Marys. But I found out that the other name for a Virgin Mary is a bloody shame, which I think is great. But we did have during lockdown, we had a family with a young man who wrote me a very nice email and said, when you do cocktails in between the wine tasting, Kate, could you please offer us a non-alcoholic version? Because we love watching and I'd love to be able to drink along sometimes. And I think he was about 12. So I don't think that family still watches, but if you're watching tonight, hi. You can make a really delicious drink with tomato juice and all of the everything without the alcohol in it, and it's delicious. Because cabin noise and low altitude pressure dull, sweet and salty taste but enhance umami, the savoury flavour prominent in tomato juice. This makes the bold spiced drink taste vibrant and rich at 30,000 feet. Thank you, Alison. I had heard something like that, but I didn't have the details, so I appreciate your added information. Karen would have a crazy Mary if they're. Oh my God! Thank you, Google. A crazy Mary has a couple of drops of Carolina Reaper essence. Oh my God, Karen, that sounds. Oh, Craig. Yes, I was going to say that sounds more like Craig than Karen. Interesting. So, but are you guys at Raffles drinking Singapore slings? I want to know, and throwing peanut shells on the ground. So, Caroline Reaper essence. It's a very, very, very hot chili oil or chili essence. A poor man's Bloody Mary is good as well, which replaces vodka with beer. It's better than it sounds, says Emily. That sounds pretty good. Yes, Shell. Oh my God, chili, absolutely. I think I'll stick with my Tabasco sauce. That's as spicy as I need my life to be with a Bloody Mary. But yes, Craig, enjoy your Carolina Reaper chili. It does sound quite inspired, a poor man's Bloody Mary. There are a lot of other options as well. I saw a Tokyo Bloody Mary, which had koshu in it, which sounded pretty fun. Raffles was last night, so totally overrated, but you've got to go still. How's everyone going with their Bloody Mary or whatever? Have you gone on to a second one? Fee's onto her Chardonnay, which I think is probably where I'd go next if I were not driving home. I'll drive home and then have a glass of Chardonnay maybe. Sue and Jeff aren't on the chat, which is disappointing. Oh, I remember Jeff was going to watch. Sue had to look after grandchildren, so she's going to come home and have a Bloody Mary later. So I'm glad that some of you have learnt some stuff about Bloody Marys. I've also learnt a lot about Bloody Marys. We've got great spicy margs with a half shot kick of the Reaper gin. So again, okay, I have to make a confession. I am a little bit of a purist even when it comes to cocktails. So I like my Bloody Mary or my Red Snapper the way it's been written down. And I haven't really tried anything else, but I think a little bit of Tabasco is spicy enough for me. I love a margarita, but I don't see the point of a spicy margarita personally. Doesn't mean that other people can't enjoy them, but for me personally, a really good margarita should have tequila and lime juice and a bit of orange curacao or Cointreau in it, and that's about it. I know other people will put sugar syrup in. I tend not to, but that's just me. I like my martini wet, so I really like a martini that is 1 shot dry vermouth and 2 shots of gin, and I know that's seen as being outrageously heavy on vermouth for this day and age, but I found an old recipe and made it that way, and I've always liked it like that ever since. And particularly if it's got a green olive in it. But I also like a martini, a Gibston's martini, which has got pickled onions in it because I'm a sucker for pickled onion. Karen loves I think it's Craig. Craig loves chilies but hates a spicy margarita. Agave syrup is Emily, that's correct. Agave syrup's much better and healthier. And I will put a little slug of agave syrup into a margarita more often than not. I knew I was forgetting something. Trade margarita's the best, says Karen. I agree. We'll have to come back and do margaritas again another day. Maybe when it's warmed up a little bit, because Peter said it was too cold for Bloody Marys, and I don't think it's too cold for Bloody Marys. There's something about a Bloody Mary that I find quite warming, particularly, I reckon, the one with the beef broth in it that Karen and that Craig was making. It was you, Craig, wasn't it? Anyway, the Craig and Fee. I rarely drink cocktails, but I prefer something with some tartness. Yeah, I agree. But it's kind of nice to have a little tomato juice based cocktail at breakfast, at brunch. So that's probably that, or when I'm on an airplane is when I would drink this kind of a guy. In the meantime, we've got another week next week to fill in before we start box 4. But hang on, what's happening next week? What's next week? I think I'm busy. I think I've got to go and do a dinner. Next week, I am doing... next week, I'm hosting a dinner at the Continental, which is down in Sorrento. That's going to be really fun. Fee and Dave, thank you, Kay. I thought it was Fee and Dave. Yes, I just lost my mind for half a second there. Sorry, guys. Doing a dinner at the Conti at Ember, the new steak restaurant at the Conti next Thursday in Sorrento. Anyone who's down that way or wants to come down that way, I think they've still got some tickets. It's going to be fun. I'll be there. Jeremy will be there and Leonie will be there. We're going as a team. And it's going to be great. It's a 4-course meal with 4 wines, I think. It'll be yummy. So that'll be next week. And then the following week, I'll be up at the Snow, but I'm taking my wine with me and we're going to do drinks with Kate at the Snow again. I don't think there's much snow, but anyway, up at Falls Creek. So we'll be doing that in 2 weeks' time, starting box 4 then. In the meantime, I'm not going to have any more red snappers because I'm already feeling a bit spacey. Shell and Andrew love the Reaper gin from Mary Monica in the Yarra Valley. Kay would love to be at the dinner, but caravan, am I wrong? No worries. Cotty, now you never have to have a carrot-based cocktail again. So here's cheers to that. I'll see if I can find you something else that's got caraway seeds in it that will be yummy. We'll see. We'll see if we can find something yum. All right. Cheers, everyone. Snow showers today at Falls. Well, it's been cold enough. So even if there's enough snow to slide around on a bit, it'll be nice to get away, which is nice. It was lovely seeing your photos as well, Rita, up at the Snow. Good old Falls. We love it. All right. Alison's got to work things. That's working out well. Excellent. All right, team. I've got a little mouthful of boozy tomato juice to go. Love a cocktail intermission. Cheers. Okay. Ruin Castle and Scots were open. Amazing. That's kind of all you need for a little bit. Particularly, it was so bluebird when you were there, so it was gorgeous. All right, team. I will see you. I'll see some of you next week, but I'll see most of you from the Snow in 2 weeks' time with wine 1 of box 4. I can't wait. All right. See you later, everyone. Cheers. What's Cotty? There's a lovely caraway liqueur. Hard to get, though. Miss it. Oh. All right. Cheers, everyone. Enjoy your tomato juice.